Check one, two, one, two, one, two. Well, good evening, everybody. Ken Johnson here with you, live here in my home studio, where I've been looking over some of the weather data here this evening, thinking about and talking about the severe weather threats for tomorrow. I'm not going to lie, this is a very, very tricky forecast. It looks like we have a threat for kind of some isolated supercells late tomorrow afternoon and early tomorrow evening across the area. And then tomorrow night, late, and we're talking about real late tomorrow night, when it would look like the atmosphere would be more primed for severe weather. There may not be anything, but there could be. It's a close call, so we'll have to just kind of wait and see how everything plays out, how everything just kind of comes together. And this is one of those situations where things are going to change drastically, or they'll probably change at least some between now and this time tomorrow. But I do not expect anything in the way of bad weather tonight, and most of the day tomorrow will be just fine. It's tomorrow night, late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, that we'll have to kind of keep an eye on things. So, and I'll answer your questions as I get to it here in just a few minutes. So let's talk a little bit about what the evening weather data is showing here. Let's see here. So here it is. This is going to be, we're going to pull up the HRRR computer model. This is one of my. This is something that does a pretty good job usually with short-term things. So let's kind of take a look at it here and see what it's showing here. So this is going to be what the radar might look like tomorrow. So let's put this into motion, and I do think that there is going to be some cloud cover around tomorrow, and maybe even an isolated shower. I can't rule that out, but probably not much in the way of rain during the day. But I do think there'll be cloud cover around tomorrow, and that will probably limit instability, I would think. And instability is what you have to have thunderstorms. You know, the more instability you have in the atmosphere, the more unstable the atmosphere is. And that typically leads to stronger thunderstorms. But I do believe that the atmosphere tomorrow will be capped. That means there's warm air above the Earth's surface, but I believe it's going to be kind of cloudy out tomorrow, so that'll kind of limit daytime heating some. So if we put this in motion, I'm going to stop this right there. Now, these will be storms right around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Looks like they'd form sometime around 5 or 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, if this is correct. Now, these would be little supercell thunderstorms developing, probably somewhere pretty close to the dry line out west. Over into this area here, we're probably looking at a pretty humid air mass, but there will probably be, at least some breaks in the clouds, a little sunshine maybe back to the west, and that leads to those little supercell thunderstorms. Whoops, went too fast there. So with these initial supercell thunderstorms, keep in mind they will probably produce a little hail. And again, with this cap in place, I don't think we'll see many of them. I think there'll just be a couple of them, and they could kind of struggle because as they develop and they're fighting up against that cap. Remember, you've got to have, in order for a thunderstorm to continue, it has to remain, the air lifting up in it anyway, has to remain warmer than its surrounding environment. Whenever it starts to encounter air that's warmer, that the surrounding environment's warmer than it is itself, then it can't rise anymore. So these are going to probably be battling up against a bit of a cap, but I do believe that there will be at least a couple of thunderstorms. And our weather information does continue and at least keeps these discrete cells going for a few hours tomorrow afternoon, early tomorrow evening. They're going to mostly be a hail threat. They overall aren't very impressive, honestly. They really aren't. They're like I say, they're battling up against that cap, and they're going to struggle as it is. So, see how quickly they go away once the sun sets. Now, if you could get storms to develop, and the HRRR model does try to develop some stuff there late tomorrow night, midnight, and thereafter, but not a lot. But if you could get thunderstorms in that environment there, then that would have a better chance to produce all aspects of severe weather. We typically don't see tornadoes in big severe weather at night here. It's usually at late afternoon, or it's usually an afternoon and early to mid-evening thing. So we're going to look at the environment. This is called significant tornado parameter. It would show an atmosphere It shows where an atmosphere would be favorable for supercells or tornadoes where supercells can interact with it. And it tries to develop, it tries to get going out west here. Um, so there might be a very limited opportunity, but I believe that these cells are going to be struggling so much that they could really struggle and have a hard time producing tornadoes. But if you look how things just really evolve tomorrow evening, and if you could get supercells within this environment there, that would have a chance to produce tornadoes. But I just don't know that that's going to happen. It could, but our computer models really aren't showing a lot. But during the afternoon, there might be just barely enough spin for if these storms can get strong enough for them to produce a little something. But I mean, I'm looking at forecasted soundings, and there's actually looks like there actually looks like there's a moisture problem. Honestly, it just looks to me like there is the moisture levels aren't that deep, and while it may be humid at the Earth's surface, I just believe that there could be a bit of a moisture problem. Now, we will go to the RRFS. This is another computer model here, and this does show some storms tomorrow afternoon, but it shows them also, struggling up against that cap as well. But this shows, it does show some supercells there, and I just don't know how successful those will be. But it does show storms trying to develop late tomorrow night in a pretty volatile atmosphere there. So if that scenario were to play out, we would be a little more concerned about our tornado potential late tomorrow night. But I don't know that most of our computer models really don't show that. It's just a couple of them do. So what we have to do is we have to just kind of a wait and see thing to see how things evolve. It's a pretty strong storm system, but there's a lot of things at work tomorrow that's going to try to limit the chances for significant severe weather. But there's also some, at least chances in there that there could be at least a little something. So probably some hail producing thunderstorms tomorrow, isolated at best tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. And then we'll see if anything can get developing tomorrow night. As of right now, everything looks very iffy to me. I don't think that tomorrow afternoon stuff is going to be all that bad, but we'll have to kind of wait and see how it all plays out. But, we'll see if anything can get going tomorrow night. But, as of right now, a lot of our weather data, it's called CAMs, convective allowing models, don't really show a whole lot tomorrow night. But, that could be off. So we'll have to just kind of keep an eye on it. So tomorrow, don't be super scared or anything like that. There's no reason to be. Just going to be there might be some thunderstorms around in the afternoon, early evening. Not many of them. Most places probably don't see them, but if you do see one, you could get a little hell out of it. And then we'll have to just see if anything can get going tomorrow night. But as of right now, I'm not sold that anything's going to happen. So, but we'll know more, I think, as we get into tomorrow. So just keep up with the weather tomorrow and just kind of check back with me and Jaden in the morning, and check back with me tomorrow and just see what we got going on here. And if anything changes, I'll be sure to let you know here. So let's see if anybody's got any questions here. So Charles wants to know, are we going to see any tornadoes? And that threat looks iffy to me right now. Now, late tomorrow night, if we could get storms, maybe. But, at least with that isolated afternoon stuff, I mean, maybe a low-end chance of that. But, probably not that great. I don't know. People tell me, can you turn your mic? I've got my mic up as high as it'll go. I can't do any more to it. I don't know what's causing it. I listened to my stuff earlier and it was fine. So I don't know what's going on with it. So. And see, most people hear me great. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe you just need to turn up your phone or something. I don't know. Josh, there really is no main area to this storm system, honestly. I mean, there really isn't. So, I mean, I can't give you a time frame on that. I mean, because we may not even see a drop of rain out of this. Well, I mean, I didn't do anything. That's better, but I didn't do anything. It's the same thing. Same thing I've been doing. Nothing different here. Yeah, I've invested quite a bit of money in this microphone, this audio thing, and it's still not working great. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the next thing. I got XLR. I've got it. It could just be the fact I'm having to go through USB, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Why it has been such an issue. So. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So, but yeah, I've got everything turned up pretty good here. So I don't know what else to do. So the audio is only coming through my right channel, but otherwise you're fine. Maybe that's what it is. I bet that's what it is. It's just because the audio is only coming through the right channel. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I just put the turn a little amplifier on this, so that might also help too some. So we'll see. But yeah, there's really not much else I can show. I wouldn't reschedule anything, Leanne. I would just keep it the same. Yeah, it's probably not going to move much until the front actually gets going late tomorrow night. So it'll probably kind of stay out there. Yeah, I've been around a long time, Rai. A long time. When I first got here, I didn't think I'd be here that long, but I am here. Wonder why I only got one channel going through, and I bet that's the problem here. It says I only got one channel going through. So, I don't know. I'll have to figure that part out because I don't know what's going on. Why it's not going through two channels. It should be. TikTok just makes things so difficult, Teresa. It really does. I've tried they just make it impossible. They've got it to where you can now go live with TikTok and all these other streaming platforms at the same time. But for whatever reason, they keep denying me, and I don't know why. You have to apply for it, and it's stupid. So I'm about done with TikTok. I'm just over it. Just over it. So, well, Brienne, I'm not going anywhere at least anytime soon. So, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up on what I was seeing. I haven't looked at the NAM. We could look at the NAM real fast. I haven't. The NAM's been a pretty much trash model all along, though. It hadn't shown much, if anything, honestly. I'm not a big NAM guy. See, it shows widespread clouds around tomorrow and nothing in the afternoon, and then absolutely nothing tomorrow night. Some up in Kansas, but that's it. It's just Kansas way too capped. And it has all the push, all the energy going north. But this is really the only model that doesn't throw at least something down our way. Ah, shoot. I did it again. None of these are some of the new NSSL models are really good, have been really good, but they're not in yet. They won't come in until super late tonight. So let's look at the FV3. This model usually over convex, but I'll show it anyway. See, that blows up big supercells tomorrow afternoon, and just very little bit late tomorrow night kind of shows that. That would be certainly a lot more of a severe scenario for us down here if that were this is the FV3. This usually overdoes thunderstorms. It puts too many storms out there as a rule. I wonder if the RFFS 3 it's not out yet. So, we're just now getting some of our, data, our evening data in. So it's not all in yet, but, I will have, updates, tomorrow on all of this. I got to send an email out here in a few minutes. So, but anyway, all right, guys. So just keep an eye on the weather tomorrow. Overall, I don't think it's going to be too bad, but there could be some, some severe weather around tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow early evening, and then we'll watch and see if anything happens tomorrow night, and we'll update that again tomorrow. Well, that's all I have for right now. I'll continue to work on these audio issues. Apparently, I only got one level of audio going through, so I only got one channel. I don't have two, so apparently that's it. So let me see if I can fix that. I just changed something, so that might have worked better. I don't know. Maybe. Like I said, this is a whole new little system I got here, so I have to just kind of wait and play around with it and see what happens with it here. So, but anyway. All right, y'all. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow, right here on my social media platforms and also on News Channel 6